1. New York City, present. The reporter shoved the microphone into her face.
Do you think Dr. Hunter's testimony is going to get you off, Mrs. Carleton? No comment,
Snapped Rod Samuels.
Come on, Mrs. Carleton. Do you think the jury will believe the shrink?
A snicker. Nothing like a handy witness waiting in the wings.
The DA is furious, Mrs. Carleton. What do you think the verdict will be, Mr. Samuels? Not guilty, of course,
said Rod Samuels. Her face showed nothing. She said nothing, merely stared straight ahead, aware of Rod's hand holding her arm firmly, pulling her toward the limousine. Timothy's silver Rolls-Royce. He'd been so proud of it. So proud.
What do you think, Elizabeth? Just feel that finish. It's something, isn't it? Even old Dower Drake approves.
Is the DA right, Mr. Samuels? Did you bribe the shrink?
What will Elizabeth X do if she's freed?
Shouted another reporter.
Spend all her dead husband's money, that's what.
Elizabeth X. Elizabeth Xavier Carleton. So clever, those reporters. She had been the notorious Elizabeth X for over 6 months. She felt Rod tighten his grip on her arm. She felt the jolt when he shoved a reporter aside. The door of the limousine was open. Drake standing beside it, his face a cold mask, his mouth an angry thin line. At what? She wondered vaguely. At the surprise witness for the defense? At the endless harassment from the media? Rod pushed her into the limousine and quickly seated himself beside her, grabbing at the door handle.
No comment,
he shouted at the sea of reporters as one hand searched for the window button. The windows were electric and wouldn't work without the motor being on. He slammed the door. There was a loud yelp. A reporter's sleeve was caught in the door. Rod cursed, opened the door, released the sleeve, then slammed it again. Elizabeth watched Drake quickly make his way around the car and open the driver's door. A flash went off in her face, then another, and another. She lowered her head, her pupils shrinking at the bright pricks of light. How many times had Rod shouted, "No comment"? How many times had she been blinded by flashes? Who cared any more about her? She wondered why Rod didn't have a comment this time. Because he believes you guilty of Timothy's murder. That's why.
Are you all right, Elizabeth?
She nodded, saying nothing, not turning her head to face him.
It's almost over.
And with a deep sigh, Rod leaned back against the rich gray leather seats.
Keep your head down. There are TV cameras as well. It will be over soon, Elizabeth,
he repeated.
No matter what Moretti tries, he won't break Christian Hunter.
Was it over? She still vividly saw Anthony Moretti's face distorted with disbelieving rage at the defense witness. The ambitious DA of New York City had headed this case since the beginning, a case he had no intention of losing. Until the surprise witness for the defense, until Christian Hunter, who had testified with calm, nearly insolent conciseness, had made him look like a fool.
What is your name, sir?
Asked Rod Samuels.
Christian Hunter. What is your occupation, sir? I am a doctor. Dr. Hunter, where were you the night of July 10th of last year? I was walking in the village alone, until about 8 o'clock. And after 9 o'clock, Dr. Hunter? I went into a bar on Greenwich, the Flying Moon. I stayed until midnight. Did you see the defendant there? Yes, sir, I did. I spoke to her, bought her a drink, a daiquiri, and we talked until midnight. Then I escorted her to a taxi. Have you ever seen the defendant again, Dr. Hunter, or spoken to her? No, I have not. You are certain it is the defendant, Mrs. Elizabeth Carleton, you were with? Positive. You are equally certain of the times? Positive. Dr. Hunter, 6 months is a long time ago.